at just the introduction to lesson 4.5a with simplifying expressions. So go ahead and open your notes to 4.5a and you're going to see 4 expressions that are typed out for you right on the top of your notes. Our goal is to be able to use the distributive property and combining like terms to simplify the expressions. So right on the top of your notes, once you've opened up there, you'll see the directions say simplify each expression. So if I look at this first one right here, it says 6 times the quantity x plus y, and then plus x. I could also read it as 6 groups of x plus y, and then plus x. And we're asked to simplify. Well, it's really hard to simplify when I don't know exactly how many x's and y's I have, so I'm not sure what to add together. So you might be thinking we should probably use the distributive property right here first. And you are right. Let's look at the question on the left. Why do we need to distribute before we combine like terms? One answer to that is because of order of operations. Multiplication comes before adding or subtracting. So we definitely want to multiply this 6 by x and y before we do any adding or subtracting. So let's give it a try. So go ahead and do this along with me. We're going to take 6 and we're going to multiply it by x. So we could write that as 6x. And then let's take the 6 and we're going to multiply it by y. And that would be positive 6y. Now what I've done is I've distributed the 6 and multiplied it by both the x and the y. So I've removed the parentheses so I can actually see that I have 6 x's and 6 y's. Now do you also notice that there's this part of the expression that we have left? Add x. I'm just going to drop that straight down and I'm going to rewrite it right here. Plus x. Now I can see that there are 3 terms. 6 groups of x plus y was 6 x's plus 6 y's, and now I'm going to add x. So let's combine our like terms. Looks like we've got 6 x's here, and if I keep looking, it looks like we're going to add an invisible 1x. So 6 x's plus 1x would give us 7 x's, and then I, of course, have plus 6 y's also. I'm just going to drop that right down here, and then my expression, simplified, would become 7 x's plus 6 y's. And I'm done. I've simplified it. Looks a lot simpler, doesn't it? Let's go ahead and give this one a try right over here. We'll try it. We'll do blue this time. All right. So again, we've got x groups of 7 plus 8, and then take away 4x. Let's distribute. We haven't had a lot of practice distributing a variable, so let's distribute here. X times 7. Remember, we can stick them together, but we need the number to come first. X times 7 can be written as 7x. And then we've got x times positive 8. X times 8 could be written 8x. We can stick the number and letter together to show multiply, but the number should come first. So now I know I've got 7 x's and I've got 8 x's because I've distributed. But we still have this minus 4x that's kind of hanging off the back here. So let's go ahead and drop that down into our expression. So it looks like we've got 7x plus 8x, take away 4x. Since they all have x's, we can add them all together. 7 plus 8 makes 15, and 15 take away 4 gives us 11 x's. So it looks like this expression that we started with here simplifies to 11x. Much simpler. Okay, let's take a look at the third one. Right here. Ooh, we've got 2 groups of x plus y plus 3 groups of y plus x. Really hard to simplify here when we don't exactly know how many x's and y's we have. So let's take a moment to look and use the distributive property. It says 2 groups of x plus y. Well, let's distribute and see exactly how many x's and y's we have. Looks like we'll have to distribute right here, and actually I think we have to distribute right here too because we've got 3 groups of y plus x. Let's start with this one. 2 times x can be written as, oh, I don't know what happened there. 2x. Now 2 times y, I could write it as 2y. Now over here, we also have 3 groups of y plus x. Oh my goodness, we got to distribute here too. 3 times y. We know that that is 3y. But in between all of our terms, we have to have a plus or a minus sign. So if this is a positive 3 times y, we would get a positive 3y. So I want to put a plus sign in there. Okay, now 3 times x. Whoa. That would give us positive 3x. Okay, now I can easily see 4 terms all separated with add and subtract signs. So let's go ahead and grab all the x's. We'll combine the x's first. So I can put a box around here, 2 x's, and then I'm going to keep looking to the right. Do I see any more x's? Of course, right here. Plus 3 x's. So those two can be combined together. 2 x's plus 3 x's would equal 5 x's. So I'm going to put my final expression right down below here. Now, looks like I've got a positive 2y and a positive 3y. And we know we can add the y's together. So positive 2 plus 3 more would give us a positive 5y. And that expression is written professionally and simplified. Looks a lot simpler than what we started with, doesn't it? But in this case, we had to use the distributive property twice. That one was kind of a fun one. Okay, last one. Take a look at this expression. How many places do you think we're going to have to use the distributive property? I agree with you, 1 right here in the middle. Because in the middle it says we have 4 groups of x plus y. We need to figure out how many x's we have and how many, 4 groups of 2. So we definitely have to distribute right there. So let's let that be our first thing that we're going to do. So right here, 4 times x, 4x. And then I've got this same 4 I'm going to multiply with a positive 2. And positive 4 here times positive 2 would give us a positive 8. So I've distributed 4 groups of x plus 2 is the same as 4 x's plus 8. But do you notice how in the front it says 3 plus x plus all of this plus 6? There's other things in this expression. So I have to drop those. I'm just going to drop them straight down right into a new expression. So 3 is going to come on down here. The plus, the x. This plus is going to come down because wasn't that 4x a positive? And then way in the back here, do you see the plus 6? Let's just drop that straight down, plus 6. So all we did here was we simplified by distributing right here in the middle. Once we did that, we just pulled everything else down into our expression. All right, let's combine like terms. So 3 plus x plus 4x plus 8 plus 6. Looks like this positive x, remember it's a 1, that is the same as this plus 4x. They are like terms. So how many x's? If you have a positive 1 and then you add 4, I think we would have 5 x's. All right, now let's take a look from left to right. Looks like we have a 3. And then if we keep moving along, it says add 8 and then add 6. So from left to right, 3 plus 8 more is 11. And then if I add 6, I would get positive 17. So look at that expression we started with in black here, and we were able to simplify it all the way down to this nice expression with 2 terms, 5x plus 17. So this was the introduction to lesson 4.5a. Thank you for joining me for this video. Have a great day.